they were, and other things. Now, it wasn't too long after that that he actually started really walking as an exercise. And then it wasn't too long after that that he decided he was going to swim, and that mounted, and so on and so forth. So taking the pressure off the nerves, where he was so compromised that he couldn't even go up steps, to the point where he could not only go up steps, but walk, not only walk, but swim, not only swim, but do many other things, which the body was designed to do. Yeah. All right, so does that sort of answer your question? Yeah. Take the pressure off the nerves, and whatever's left, the body will respond to. Of course, we had a young man who had a tremendous drive in him to want to manifest things. So he did everything he could to further himself. But I was very lucky because I was working with somebody who had that sort of drive in him, thank God. But the rest of it was his own body. I mean, I had very little to do with it. All I did was assist the body to take off the pressure from the nerves. The rest of it, I was just very lucky to be involved with. Does that make sense? Sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. Were there any other questions? My plane is not until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Are there any contraindications with Spinology, like for therapy?
Yes, there might be.
Yeah, like can you give an example? A stroke, for example?
No, not a stroke.
But within, say, 6 weeks of stroke, would you treat a client?
I would.
You would you?
What a Spinology does is so gentle that...
How many grams of force are you using, Reggie?
How many grams?
Yeah, how forceful is it? Is it very light, or is there
Oh, it's very light.
I had it recently, 2 sessions, and I found it very forceful. I'm coming from cranial sacral therapy. So for me, I didn't really feel good after it at all, I have to say, and it's very painful.
Well, I don't know who your Spinologist was.
Yeah. So we trained in America.
Do you see them in this room?
No.
Then they're not practicing.
Yes, of course, very, I'm not saying he's very respected, I'm not saying, but for myself, a lot of people are very sensitive and other people are harder systems. So,
Spinologists are trained to assume everybody's very sensitive.
how much for? Is it very strong? Is it, do you click heads and things like that?
No.
I have done none
It's
of that
very
in this
gentle.
one. So it's a different type of Spinology I had, obviously.
Apparently the Spinologist you had is practicing chiropractic, not Spinology.
Yeah, he has no chiropractic training.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to know how much force we use?
Yeah, how much?
Okay, students, please stand up. The students of the class. Where are the students? Okay. Close your eyes. Remember the exercise. Everybody's thinking, right? Right? 1, 2, both. Left. Right. Both. 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 Thank you. That's the force.
That's safe.
Can I just use my experience just a little bit? I came from a chiropractic technique called Gonstead. Anybody that knows anything about chiropractic knows that Gonstead is the heaviest handed technique there is. We manipulated vertebrae. Spinologists do not manipulate vertebrae. As a Gonstead practitioner, I used 5 different vectors to decide which bone I was going to push and how far and where I was going to push it. I had my instrumentation, my motion palpation, my x-ray, my visualization, and my static palpation. Once I determine those, and only when I've determined all of those, do I determine which part of the bone I'm going to make contact with and which direction I'm going to manipulate it. My educated brain, my educated intelligence is deciding that I am going to manipulate this vertebra over here for a desired specific result. Sciatica going away, migraine headaches going away, whatever. It took me 3 years to deprogram myself, and I checked you on Thursday. It was a bit better than the first time that I checked you. If a spinologist applies a force, and the body doesn't accept the force and make a change, try it again. Little tiny, maybe more force, or maybe a little different place in the breath. But if it doesn't accept the force, the body's intelligence does not want to make a change in that area, your educated brain was wrong, move on. If the spinologist forces, and forces, that's a manipulation. That's chiropractic, and that has no business in spinology
It's
whatsoever.
osteopathic as well.
Osteopathic as well, yes. And if we had, like America, if we had, like Reggie says, in this country, the healthcare system is such a mess that they don't really care about road people running around out there unregulated. If we had a regulation system of osteopathy and chiropractic like they have in the States, the only spinologists that you would see practicing are those that you see in this room here, because everybody else would have been called before boards, fined, maybe jailed for practicing disciplines without licenses. If you're seeing a spinologist that is practicing chiropractic, please know we don't teach, he's never taught chiropractic to spinologists. So if they're doing something, they've either gone to a school and got more training above and beyond what Reggie's done, or they're doing something that they've developed on their own without any prior training or education or understanding. I wouldn't do chiropractic anymore, because I understand now that there are two different ways to approach the body. You can either treat the body, or you can maintain the body. And my life has only been enhanced by maintenance. As a chiropractor, I practice what I preached. So every 6 weeks I get maintenance done, possibly. But that wasn't enough. Sometimes camping, it would go, and then I would be in bits. But as long as I got my spine checked once, twice a week, as much as I possibly could, just maintaining it. I don't feel perfect all the time. Heck, I golf, I play football, I've got a 5-year-old. My back hurts from time to time, but I know that as long as my bones are aligned as good as they possibly can, my body's just doing as good as it can. And I've got lots of damage in there. It's never going to be fixed. It's never going to be perfect.
That's negative.
Huh?
That's negative.
But it can't
If
be.
you believe that, whether you believe it, whether you're right or wrong, either way you're right.
The limitations of matter. We live in a universe that has defined universal laws. And the limitations of matter says that when the damage is so advanced that the body can no longer, we don't have enough time for the body to recover. But if I can be 300 years old, I can do that. But I'm only going to live to probably be 100.
Limiting again.
I don't want to live to be long enough. I think 100 years is long enough on this planet.
Sorry, can I just say something too? I've just been checking my spine now for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I started off I've no movement at all. No movement at all. You apply the slightest bit of pressure, but nothing would happen. And over time, your body just starts to respond to it. And it doesn't take an awful lot. And sometimes there'll be times where my body isn't going to respond to it, and it doesn't go. And he'll say to me, okay, this is much we're going to get today, darling, that's it. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's not about the force. Your body does start to respond to it. And now it's got to a stage where I know that I know what way I have to breathe and how much the little pressure is going to be, and I can feel it work. You can feel the difference, and it's not about pushing or making it do something that it doesn't want to do. Really,
Well, I think through regular maintenance and treatments or whatever you want to call it, the body does, of course, respond, I'd say, simultaneously and starts to heal itself.
Yeah.
And then also there's the psychological, obviously, reaction of the body as well, and the feeling of being cared for comes into it, coming from a therapeutic point of view. But the proof again is having it done, and I didn't have much confidence when I first started coming for Spinology. But I got to a point with my sciatica and sacroiliac joint that I couldn't walk. So I had to do something, and I was just so lucky that I came across Mike and Spinology, because I've never looked back. And I don't go as often as I should really, but I do get the simplicity of the message, and I think that's why people find it so difficult. Because your intelligence wants to make it difficult, and it's not at all as simple as it is.
That's very valid.